and welcome to the Nexus. Today we're going to be doing the Nissan GTR. Now normally Kirsty builds this, but Kirsty's waiting for an operation at the minute, and she's in quite a bit of discomfort, so sitting for long periods and doing this sort of stuff, you find it difficult. So instead of waiting for the parts to build up for the GTR, I've decided to step in and do do the build until you're better to do it, and then you'll take over.
Yeah.
So we don't know how long that's going to be. Hopefully it's very soon, because we're waiting for an operation to come. You've had a lot of tests done through the hospital, and we're just waiting for the operation, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then after the operation, and then well, hopefully it's not too long after the operation, you can pick back up, and then Kirsty can do it again, and she can back up on the channel. But so we don't get overwhelmed, you don't get overwhelmed with all the parts, I'm going to pick up the slack. So I'm going to be doing the GTR at the moment, and then hopefully Kirsty's better, and then she can come back and we'll welcome her back. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let's carry on with the GTR. Okay, so in this video we're going to be doing 33 and 34 of the Nissan, and we hope Kirsty is better soon so she can get back on top of this. Okay, so for this issue, these two issues, you're going to need your engine, the chassis, the radiator housing, the firewall, this bit here. So we're going to need all of that. And that is what we're going to do right now. So we're going to do issue 33 first, obviously. So let's crack on. So like I said, for this two issues, you're going to need your engine, your chassis, the firewall, which we're going to start working on first. So let's start that. We've got some AP screws as well. Okay, so the first thing we need to grab is this section just here, and that little black bit here. Okay, so we need to take our firewall, so it has the triangle bit showing, and then this is going to peg into this bit just here, just like a half moon. That's going to just peg into there, and then this is going to just go on top like that. Then we're going to take this big section. We need some AP screws. This bit just here. And this is going to sit like on here, like that. So let's screw that up. This one. And there's the other one. Now remember, don't over tighten them because they are plastic, so that's how that sits. Just on there like that. Then what we're going to do is grab this section, this piece right here, and we're going to plug that in just there, like so. So those bits are facing that way, so it's going in like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this white piece here and the yellow cap, so let me grab them. Hang on, let's pull all those bits out actually. Okay, so this part here, goes in like so. So it needs to, it's at an angle, so it needs to be angled forward, and then obviously yellow cap on the top like that. So we've done that bit. So now what we need to do is pass our chassis over here. So if you you're seeing this. Okay, so we have some wires to go on. So the first one is we get a small, and so there is one longer than the other. So if we grab them like that, you can see that one is longer than the other. So the first thing we need to do is grab the smaller one, which is this one here. And so this is going to peg onto this little bit here, and then onto the first little peg just in here. The next one is going to sit on there as well. So the longer one, that's going to peg just in there, and then that is going to peg into the other peg, which is down here. Lots of pegs, and that sits in just like that. Can you see that? Like that. So then we're going to grab this part, and this part is going to sit in that little hole there with the two pins that way, pointing that way. That makes sense. Then what we're going to do, we've got our block here, and we've got this. This is going to go on the plus sign, which is just there. Can you see that? That's going to sit on there like that, just like that. And then this is going to sit on there. So that is issue 33 done. Now we do get this little clip. I want to put this little clip here, as you can see that needs to be put aside. So let's do 34. Okay, so here's 34. We're going to put that aside because we won't need that. But we do need all of this, so it's worth just taking all of this out. We're going to need the engine as well, because we're going to be putting that in. So let me get all these bits out. Okay, so first thing we've got to do is we've got to move everything out of the way, because we're going to be working on the front here again. Okay. So we're going to be working on this section here. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to grab this white section just here, like that. Then we've got a yellow top. So this little yellow top goes in here. There we go. Be a bit careful, like so. And that is going to sit just here. So this needs to just sit in here, like so. Yep, that sits in just like that. Then we're going to stick in this section, which I believe is the battery. You can see that. That's quite a good detail on there. It's quite nice. So that is going to sit in here. Once again, that just pegs in. So just push that down. Next, we're going to grab this. And on here, we're going to grab these red ones. So I've got two red ones to go on this. So that is going to, one on there. And one on there like that. Then we've got the silver cap. That's going to go on there. So that sort of sits like that. There is some writing on top of that cap. I don't know if that can make it out. Like so. That is going to sit now on here, like that. That pegs in rather too easily. Just push it down. It will be fine. So that sits in just like that. Next, what we're going to do is we should have these little clips that are just here, and these are going to go on here. So we need one. Right, so these are really small and they look like M's, and these are going to peg onto these wires. So you need one this end and that one, put one on, that one's on, and then the other one sort of in between as well. So it's best to do it one at a time. One there, one there. So as you can see, they're sort of pegged on there. I don't know how well that's coming out, but just here, the pegs are there. Okay, the next bit is our engine. Now our pipe has come off, it's just come off there. I'm going to reattach it. So what we've got to do is we've got to slide our engine in like this. Okay, and we have two mounting brackets in here. So firstly, let's just take out some of the loose pipes. Okay, so first what we've got to do is this pipe here has to go in here. There's a hole there, and the mounting brackets are here, so you've got two either side, just there on either side. There's one there as well, and we're going to use AM screw to secure that in, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so the engine is in. There we go. It's a little bit fiddly to get down through that section there, but it is completely in now and really solid, which is cool. And you can sort of see now how it all sits, and it's sitting really nice. Okay, so there's a few extra bits to do now. Right, we've got a couple of wires here. So the first one we've got here is the shorter one, and what we're going to do is we're going to grab a red plug here, and that is going to sit on the end like that. This end is going to go onto here, and then this one will peg onto the pipe that's down here. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so we've done that, which is that pipe just here. I have cut off a little bit off the end. There was a bit too much, so I've cut a little bit off. There's still a kink in it, so you could trim a little bit more off, but I mean it sits pretty well. Okay, so the next one what we're going to do is the longer one. We're going to put a red bit into here, like so. So a red bit goes on that end, then it's going to sit on here, so we need to peg it in just here if we can. There we go, and then this one will sit on the other red one, which is down here, and there we go. So that sort of sits around like that, making sure that the wires don't come out anywhere else. So that is that bit done. The next part is the radiator. So we're going to attach the radiator now. So this will sit with SM screws into these grooves into these grooves just here. So this is going to sit like that in there, making sure we get the wire, the pipe that goes into the bottom there, and I believe there's another one that sits in the top. So there's one that sits in here and one that sits in there, and we're going to use SM screws to attach that in place from under here. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so we've done that. We've now got the rad on, which is really cool, and the engine bay itself is coming along really nicely. There's still loads of work to be done just on the engine bay. We've got one wire left, and that is going to sit into this peg on top of the radiator here, and we're just going to peg that in if we can. This just sits just to force it on a little bit, but it will go on there. There we go. Okay, and then we just leave it. It doesn't peg into anything. At some point this will sit along here. So that's our firewall. That will sit along there at some point. But like I said, there is a lot of wires still to go along sections. There's still quite a bit to be done on the engine bay, but it's now in, which is nice. And it's looking really good. There's a lot of detail there as well, which is nice. And yeah, and there we go. And it's looking really, really nice. Engine's coming along nicely. You know, the engine and the gearbox are in now, which is good. Rad's on. There's a hell of a lot still to be done on this, but it's looking good, so I'm happy with this. You will have this still, and this you need to put somewhere as well as this little clip that we had. We don't use that yet, so it's good to put all this aside because we'll obviously be using that in a later video. But that's it from us here at the Nexus. Thank you for watching. Hopefully Kirsten will be back very, very soon, and she can carry on with her build. And I'm just hoping that she likes what we're building so far. It looks good. I hope I haven't messed it up. But anyway, look, thank you. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and obviously we'll see you at the next video. Until then, see you later.